guard dog. On the retractable washing line.
Yep.
Not enjoying life at the minute, is she, on that?
No, she's not really adjusting to that very well.
But she's had a haircut and she's going for a stage of still a puppy, but a big puppy, and now quite a fast puppy.
Very fast.
And likes to explore the estate.
Likes the road.
She does like the road, so unfortunately we're going to have to keep her on the retractable washing line until she matures enough to not get potentially run over. Bless her. Don't want a flatmate at the moment.
No.
A lot of stuff on the going on the floor here, mate.
There is.
What day is it today? Monday, isn't it?
Yeah, somehow.
We're both off tomorrow.
We are.
What is it you're doing, mate? Got the girlfriend's birthday.
Yes.
And going for...
Going for high tea. Lovely.
Sure, that'll be lovely.
I'll just get a sandwich or something.
I quite like a high tea on the quiet, but then I'm a bit, a bit strange, and I'm going somewhere else.
You are. An undisclosed location.
Yes, I am. But we'll be back Wednesday. CVH is done, because I was off Friday.
You were?
I had a beach day.
Yes.
And do you know what? It was a bloody lovely day.
It was worth taking a couple of days off last week.
It was. I enjoyed that, just to spur of the moment, off the cuff, have the day off. It was 29 degrees down there.
Good weather. You don't get it very often.
No.
So.
A little bit of breeze down there, which is dangerous, isn't it?
Yeah.
Absolutely burnt to a crisp on the Friday, and felt quite ill, to be fair, when I got home. I was hot, yet very cold. I think they call that sunstroke.
Yeah.
While I was off, mate, you very kindly got the CVH done, timed up.
All timed up.
Happy days.
Done
Hopefully,
the timing.
fingers crossed, all goes very well now.
Is it raining?
It's raining. It's been threatening to rain all day.
It's a very weird colour out there. It's all a bit yellowy.
But it's cooler, isn't it?
Yeah, nice.
Not to complain about the warm weather, but it is nice to work in. And also, the Focus RS Mark III. So this one, I have spoke to the customer. I'm sure I said it in the last video, mate. I do tend to repeat myself, but he is on holiday, I do believe this week, down this way. And he said, if we could, do you reckon you could potentially get it done for me to pick up on Friday? Not to push.
I'd forgotten about that, but it was just as well, because I did end up cracking on with it today.
You did, mate, and I was quite surprised you got that finished Friday, so thank you very much indeed.
All finished.
I almost don't need to be here.
Well, I do think you need to take advantage of, you can sort of just take some time off here and there. And
you need the odd day off, mate, don't you?
You do.
And so do you as well, not just me. What better time to have the day off when the weather's nice?
Exactly.
But yeah, this is looking good, mate, so it's all blasted.
All blasted
painted
and
up,
painted.
cleaned thoroughly.
Got the new I-beam bridgeway rods and the new Marla Motorsport pistons.
Yes.
And that is, believe it or not, that's the deck height of these pistons.
So they do sit a couple of
obviously intended for running pretty high boost.
Yeah, they do sit a couple of mil low.
You also have a bit of a dome in the crown. So.
Yeah. So this one, when I faced this, although it didn't give any head gasket issues or at that time, potentially I think in the not too distant future it could have, because I had to give it 2 licks over, 3 hour time, and on, I think it might have been sort of here, there was like an area that looked like a fingernail imprint, sort of where the gasket line was.
Yeah, the gasket sort of started sinking in. Started
to blow, so eventually what would happen is that would blow across there,
Yeah.
And you'd have a head gasket issue.
So this has got the insert, not that we did that, but...
So this is the 2.3 block, which the Focus RSs were, the 2.3, and this is an open deck.
Open deck, yeah.
And what they do is someone makes this brace here, which you basically tap in a mil or two below the top of the block, and it sort of strengthens up the top there and stops it from distorting.
So that's the 2.3 block. So I'm guessing this Mazda MX-5, because it's the same engine, isn't it?
Yeah, so that's
the 2 litre block, is it?
One of the big mods they do when they build one of these 2.3s is to use the 2 litre block.
So it's the same bore?
Same bore size, 87.5 mil.
So it's like doing a stroker, but sort of the other way round.
Sort of, yeah. but that is a closed deck. It's a stronger block. This is what we're dealing with here with this one. So bottom end's all pretty much done, mate. The cylinder head.
Cylinder head, I do have a little bit of work to do on, but it's not anything major. Those valves will seal up nice with a lap.
Yeah.
None of them are terrible, but they just aren't on the vacuum tester. They're not reading amazingly.
Okay,
so.
And then we'll have to go through and just check the clearances.
Yeah, check the clearances. I'm
those.
hoping not to have to do too much, so I don't have to spend hours and hours doing the clearances. But
and we got all the bits. I think actually the only bit that I'm waiting for, which should be here tomorrow, I think it should have been here today, was the cam chain kit.
Oh, right. And a head gasket, I believe.
And a head gasket.
But we'll get a Cometic or something for that, I suppose.
Have I ordered the head gasket?
Maybe it's just not
turned up.
turned
Yeah, I
up
think it
yet,
might have been. And then hopefully we'll get this one done.
Yeah.
If we can, it'll be helpful to him.
Are we going all the way timing it up for him, or
we're going to put the cam chain on, time it up at the front.
Cool.
And then he'll put all the ancillaries on. So
nice. Pretty
good stuff. We've had another engine come in today, mate, and this is not one that we get very often.
No.
Porsche. Is that how they pronounce it?
I believe you're meant to say Porsche.
Okay. But yeah, anyway, a Porsche. 2.2.
Apparently.
6-cylinder.
Air-cooled.
What's this out of then, a 2.2? 911?
Yeah, I don't know.
Wonder how old that is.
I don't really know my Porsches very well.
Well, looking at the rocker covers there with the fancy Porsche, right, and it looks sort of modern, but I'll be honest, I'm not too up on the Porsche engines and what they put them in. I mean, the 911 has been going on for blooming years, and I ain't got a clue.
Maybe it's like the last of the air-cooled ones.
Maybe.
Because it does look fairly
They sort of tended to go up
alley.
in capacity, didn't they, as the years went on, but being a 2.2, I don't quite know what this is out of. So
be interesting though.
Yeah, but apparently the customer's had this one apart before himself. What, 10 years ago? Did he say?
Yeah, but he's done sort of 8,000 miles or so.
He did a bit of a rebuild on it. Really, didn't do a great deal.
Just sort of rings and that sort of thing.
But he's not confident that it's 100%. So he'd quite like us to just strip it, check everything.
Yep.
And basically build it up with any of the necessary new parts and make sure it's sort of all right, really.
Yeah.
So be an interesting one to strip down and get in amongst, mate, for the viewers of the channel.
I do like a boxer. Or is this a flat? I suppose this is more of a flat engine. It's only the firing order that identifies the two.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, see, you know more than me there.
It's only the firing order. Same configuration, really, isn't it? But
added little delivery. Probably Friday when I weren't here, mate. Turbochargers. We have two turbochargers here, back from
Turbo
Performance. This is the massive one that was on the white Sierra Cosworth that Stuart took the engine out of kindly for us to build. Waiting for some liners to be made at the moment. But this turbo here is the one that Vince stripped and said, sort of giggled on the phone and said they offered a T4 core up to it and it sort of fell down the hole. So he said it's absolutely ginormous. And if the customer had actually drove the car when he bought it, which I don't think he has, he would have noticed that the turbo would have probably come in at about $6,000. So
it's just way too much.
Too much. Old school engine build, way too much of a turbo. Lag central.
Like a bloody lorry turbo.
Awful to drive. And bearing in mind, it's in a rear-wheel drive Sapphire. So by the time that kicks in, mate.
Well, by the time that kicks in, you're probably up in the next gear, down at 3,000 RPM again.
Up in the next century, I'd say. Yeah. So what we've done, mate, is we've had a T38 hybrid built.
So that's still a big turbo, isn't it?
It's a big turbo. That is a turbo that these days will run just over 500 horsepower, potentially. With the right map and right engine build.
It's a big front housing now.
But it's something that we would build for sort of a 450 to 480, really. A fantastic turbo. So they take like an original T34 core and basically mod it out and billet wheel, machined right out, all the rest of the jazz and call it a T38. So that is going to be a nice responsive turbo still. Getting quite hard to find now, these T34 turbos for a donor. Quite expensive on the bits, really, but yeah, going to be a lovely turbo on this. Obviously a bit more expense for the customer, but give him the option. I said you can either have years of lag or have something that's nice and drivable for that sort of power. If you want to genuinely run getting on 500 horsepower.
And you never know, you might be able to sell that other turbo at some point.
This is it, yeah.
Make some money
I mean,
back
in
on
fact,
it,
the turbo has been done and it's in decent nick, so they just put it back together, but they said for this application, no good. Just moving off the subject of engines, mate, quickly. Now, I mentioned this in the last video. Not going to go out here too much because it's peeing down. But the van. I'm a little bit indecisive at the moment on what to do with the van next year.
I like the van.
I like the van. Do you know what? Basically, the deal is with this, is we bought the van, but it's a sort of hire purchase sort of thing, really, I suppose.
It's on 0%, wasn't it?
It's on a 0%. Made sense because for us to buy that because of the second-hand value of the MSRT Transits.
Yeah.
Lovely van, beautiful inside, does everything I need for work and for home.
Yeah.
You know, it's got 6 seats, got a spacious back, it's auto, pulls like a train. Had a couple of emails off people saying, reminding me that it's got the infamous wet bout engine.
Oh, yes.
And what on earth is someone that's supposedly been so knowledgeable about engines buying something with a wet bout engine? My personal opinion on the wet bout engine is they're not actually that bad. It's the oil change intervals that you need to worry about.
It's that, and it's just making sure you change the belt before you have an issue rather than waiting for an issue.
But we know people that get involved with these wet bout transits, and if you do change the oil as regularly as you should, they never have any trouble with them.
More regularly than
you should, but then...
Because what do Ford say? They say 20,000,
20,000 or every 2 years, something like that.
Which
it's just
is
way
ridiculous.
Too long. But it's the same, it's not just Ford with that type of engine.
It's everything now.
Porsche, for instance, as soon as they doubled the service intervals, they started having problems with the intermediate shaft bearing and all that jazz.
Yeah.
So it's all to do with oil, really.
It is.
All these engines are so finicky with their oil and so dependent on it, on the viscosity and that. It's, you know, you've got to do it. So I don't think they're as bad an engine as everyone makes out.
Yeah. So what's your recommendation for a wet belt?
I would always suggest at the very least half of what they suggest. So like once 10, a year, 10,000 miles, whichever comes soon.
I'd say
more. But I would say I do mine every 6.
Yeah.
You can't change the oil enough.
Every 6,000 or 6 months.
Yeah.
That's a good way of doing it, really.
Sounds a bit overkill, but you know, unfortunately these days with the emissions, and I think talking to a Ford tech, they said basically the problem is with that is people do short journeys like myself.
Yeah.
The thing regens and doesn't come up with a light. He said if they put a light on saying don't turn it off when you regen, you wouldn't have half the problems.
Yeah.
But they turn it off mid-regen. It dumps a load of diesel into the oil, changes the viscosity, and then and also the diesel in the oil perishes the rubber belt.
It does.
So basically, a rubber belt in oil is not a great idea when you've got loads of diesel in your oil.
Yeah, that's it.
So
the belt itself really is designed to be quite good in oil.
Yeah,
it's not rubber like a lot of people would say. It's like a fibre, isn't it? They've obviously developed a belt, albeit it's still a way for them to make it cheaper to produce. But it's not like they've just grabbed a cam belt and stuck it in the oil. You know what I mean?
It is developed and manufactured to be able to cope with that.
But it's the diesel in the oil.
Yeah,
but people thins it out.
People are forgetting that you have problems with normal cam belts. There's problems with chain which runs in oil.
Chains are meant to be indestructible, but they let go on everything.
Look at the old BMW 2 litres. They're having problems with the chains and stuff like that.
Well, it ain't just them now. Most things let go eventually.
And we're of oil pump chains and oil pump belts going and stuff like that. They're all the same.
It's another way for them to monetize servicing your vehicle.
Yeah.
To them, it doesn't matter if you need a wet belt changing or a new cylinder head or a load of engine work because the wet belt's let go. To them, it's you're coming in the door and you're spending money with them. So you just got to beat them to it with a preventative maintenance, really.
Exactly, mate. You're right there, definitely. So yeah, no problem with the actual wet bout engine on the Transits. Love the van. Not as keen. My problem is here, we run out next year, so I've either got to give Ford 18 grand and buy it off them. Bearing in mind the vehicle is worth quite a bit more than 18 grand.
Yeah.
But do I buy the van and keep it? Do I buy it and sell it and buy a new van? Bearing in mind I don't like the new ones.
I was going to say, I don't like the new MSRTs.
No, and they're about 60 grand.
Yeah.
Do I buy something more sensible, as in cheaper?
Or do we just convert to the Escort van, the Mark II?
Is my final point. Can my wife deal with the Mark II Escort van? That's the only
Unlikely
thing.
she ain't going to get in there, is she?
But let's leave it up to the viewers, mate, to put down in the comments what they think I should do. Should I keep the van, buy it for that sort of money, or should I get a new one, or should I just do away with it all, get a cheap van, and run around in the Escort Cosworth van? But yeah, till Wednesday, have a nice evening. We'll see you then. Cheers, guys.